Hey B4S fam, I'm Joelle from the University of Maryland coming to you with my college survival guide. Today, we're going to be talking about some tips for going through sorority recruitment. I thought that this was great timing for this video to hopefully relieve some concerns that people may have, especially now that a lot of schools are doing formal and informal recruitment virtually for the first time ever due to COVID. I know that when I went to my school knowing not a single soul or anything about Greek life, I was super overwhelmed and had no idea what the process would entail whatsoever. So hopefully that this will help you have some insight that I kind of wish that I had going in. So like I said, it definitely seemed like an incredibly daunting process, but once I started going through it, I actually found it to be kind of fun. I saw it as an opportunity to talk to a bunch of different girls and get their insight on their experiences, and I really enjoyed the different conversations that I had. Now, this is probably going to seem so cheesy, but I can't stress how important it is to really be your authentic self and not who you think that a chapter wants or will like or any of that stuff. Because you want to feel comfortable where you are and where you end up. And if you feel like you have to act like someone else, you're not going to feel that way once you're in the chapter, and it's going to show later. And you want to find the group that's right for you, not who your friends think that you should be in or a reputation or anything of that sort. Now, something that I want to talk about that I found wasn't really talked about when I was watching these videos ahead of going through recruitment is getting dropped. Now, this is when a sorority actually doesn't ask you to come back for the next round, and this can be really confusing and really disappointing depending on how much you enjoyed spending time at that chapter. And I just want to say that this is not something that should deter you from continuing the process, and don't take it personally, because a girl could absolutely love you but just see you so perfectly somewhere else, and they want you to be happy, and even though they love you and they want to be friends with you, if they just take you for that, but they totally see you fitting in somewhere, that would actually be hurtful to you in the future. And it's really important to trust these girls, because since they've been through it and they likely have friends in other chapters and whatnot, odds are that they know best. And just really, I know that it could be incredibly hard, especially if you think that you fit in so well somewhere, but don't let it deter you, and don't let it stop you from going and keeping an open mind in other chapters, because I can't stress enough how much that happens to so many different people and how normal it is. And I really think that people regret in the future if they do let that stop them from continuing through the process. The way that it generally works is that there are 4 rounds. At my school, they're called values, philanthropy, sisterhood, and preference. And the way that these work is, depending on the school you go to and the number of chapters, you will go to their houses or different rooms, and they will either span from like 1 to 3 days, because what happens is hopefully the rounds will get a little bit longer and a little more in depth each time you go, and you'll learn different things. And with that also comes dressing a little nicer for each round. But I also do want to touch on clothes, because this was another huge stressor for me. And only after I realized how much stress I had over my outfits, only to realize that they really do not remember, and that I could have saved so much time and hassle. But that being said, it's super important to dress comfortably, because if you're self-conscious or if you're fidgeting, but you buy something because you think other people will like it, it's going to end up being really distracting from the conversation, and you're going to be uncomfortable, and you just want to avoid that definitely at all costs. So dressing comfortably, but also kind of moderately cute, dressing your style, it's a great way to kind of show off who you are, but definitely don't try and dress like what you think someone else will like, and dress what you think you will like and you'll be comfortable in. Trust me, there are such long days, and you do not want your feet to be killing you or to be super fidgety or anything like that. And then just some basic general tips are to definitely get sleep. They are such long days and they are so draining. And some things that I would definitely suggest that you bring with you are water, snacks, mints, and tissues. Do not forget those things. I could not have survived without them. Usually the food, if they do give you any, is not great and it's not filling. You're gonna be talking so much, so you're really gonna need that water and those mints between rounds, because your mouth will start to feel weird. It sounds so weird, but just trust me on this one, or gum. And then I actually rush in the spring at my school. That's when our formal recruitment is. And when it is cold and winter, you will definitely appreciate having some tissues on you, I promise. Also, definitely make sure that your phone is off or on silent. There were quite a few times where girls' phones and alarms went off, and it can be so distracting, especially if you're in the middle of a really emotional or a really great speech or anything like that. Just definitely make sure you don't want to be the girl who forgot to turn her alarms off and whose phone went off in the middle. Just trust me on that one. And then the last and arguably most important piece of advice that I want to give you is don't be afraid to ask questions. So I hadn't thought about this before I went through, and when girls would ask me if I had questions, I had trouble thinking of questions to ask because I didn't really know anything. So definitely preparing some of those in advance can actually be really helpful to both of you, because if you ask a girl a question, let's just say about what is her favorite philanthropy event, does she have a position and what does she like about it? What's her favorite memory? Or even why did she join that chapter? People like talking about fond memories and whatnot, so odds are she's gonna love talking about it and telling you about it. She's gonna appreciate that you're interested, and it'll give you some insight on what your life would be like if you did end up in that chapter, which can be really helpful to you. I definitely wish that I asked those questions because I would have loved to have seen what these girls thought and had their genuine and real opinions. All right, guys, so that is all that I have for today. Please make sure to thumbs up this video if you liked it. And if you have any other questions about recruitment or any other types of videos you want to see, please make sure to drop them in the comments, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.